Hey, this is Hawk. So right now I've just left Dallas, Texas on my way back up north. I just want to bring some information to you that you need to look into for yourself. As you know, they're going to start downgrading the coronavirus to open up all the states. And suddenly, the media is going mental, adding numbers and trying to exacerbate this thing into locking you down some more. You explain to me why the coronavirus or corona or the COVID-19 law that was signed into law in December of 2019 was actually introduced in 2019, January of 2019, into the United States Congress. Now listen to the dates. January 2019. I believe it was signed into law in December of 2019 by President Trump. Either somebody knew this was coming or this whole thing was planned. Suddenly we have a bunch of people saying, okay, we're gonna release everybody to go back to work. Suddenly the media is spinning stuff about staying home and how cheap it is and how things should be and what should happen. And then suddenly the numbers are jumping again. Ask yourself this. Do you know anybody that's got coronavirus? Ask the hospitals what happened to the people that died of a heart failure. Where's their death certificate? Did they put coronavirus to get the $10,000 so-called money or whatever the amount is? Somebody had a stroke. Did they die of coronavirus? Did they have a car accident? Did they die of coronavirus? The new thing is that George Floyd died of coronavirus. So anybody that comes into a hospital now, they put a ventilator on them because they have a whole bunch of them. And all of a sudden he died of coronavirus. If there was 10 people, they put 2 knots on the end. So now it's 1,000 people. That's the media. It's a crock of shit. The whole thing's a crock of shit. There is some people that died of coronavirus. The numbers don't make sense. The whole thing don't make sense. The stock market was blowing up 2 days ago. Here comes the media again, and instead of going with the flow and opening this up, they try and destroy our country. Lots of people that are very old, in their 70s, 80s, and 90s, and 100, are going to die of natural causes, of slightest colds and flu. Yes, I agree. But they're going to open this country up. You want to wear a mask, you want to wear gloves, wash your hands, you're supposed to do that anyway. Fine. You want to telecommute from home? Fine. But we have to open this economy up. We're going to collapse. We cannot borrow any more money, and we cannot give out money and give out money and give out money. All the Democratic states are the ones screaming because they don't want to work. There's millions of us out here that are prepared to go to work tomorrow. Work side by side, no mask, don't give a shit, go to work. I don't normally get into US politics, but this is pissing me off. You don't want to shake somebody's hand, give him the elbow. Or don't even touch him, just nod your head. Hey bro, what's happening? You don't have to kiss and cuddle. If you don't want to be with your wife, go sleep in another room. You don't want to touch your kids, well, that's your problem. Most kids bring the flu home from school. Your kids got flu, don't send them to school. If they're sick, don't send them to school just because you don't want to do daycare. It's logical. As for the riots, look at Seattle right now. You got a bunch of punk ass kids telling this United States government that you're weak. Your mayors are giving up police stations. Your mayors are giving up police stations all those evidence. DNA, fingerprints, whole records, gone, burnt to the ground. What about all the victims that now have lost all the evidence to commit that all the evidence they have on the crimes that were committed against them? You allowed that police station to burn down. You allowed that evidence to be taken away. Listen to all the cops out there. I'm 100% behind you. But you got bad eggs in there. And if your unions are protecting them, your unions are wrong. I'm not against unions. But you cannot help these guys just because they're cops. If he's a bad egg, get rid of him. If he's a racist, get rid of him. And I don't care if you black or white, are you both racist? You both better wake up. Because people are sick of it. You don't need to shoot people for any reason. If a guy's 21 feet away from you and you have a gun in your hand, I understand you want to kill him. You don't have to. There is other ways. There's beanbags. There's all kinds of stuff to take the guy out. You don't have to kill kids in cars because they drive away from you. And to the black community, stop blaming whites for your problems. To people like Al Sharpton that have $500 million for his campaign for presidency, knowing he'll never win. He could have used that money to build trade schools in the black communities to give them skills instead of going selling drugs on the corner. Where's the Black Lives Matter in Chicago when 30 people die every weekend? I agree. Some guys are assholes out there. They racists. But you got to start looking at the big picture here. I'm driving through the states. This had nothing to do with Trump. Trump's trying to make it better. What is he fighting? The Democrats. What have the Democrats done for you in 30 years? But tell you, vote for the Democrats and look at your cities. Look at your cities. Look around you. Drug-infested, criminal, corrupted politicians who are legally want illegals to come into the country, who want drug dealers to come in and run your things. What place in the world do you defund your police? Defund ICE, defund your immigration system. So you're overrun with criminals. There is no law. If the law does not prevail, you have no law. I made up that saying years ago. It's logical. You got corrupt judges, you got corrupt lawyers, you got all this stuff. Get rid of them. You got bad cops, get rid of them. Stop blaming black and white because all they're doing is dividing us. I have nothing against a black man. I've never tried to stop a black man getting a job. You can get a job. Go down to the union hall. Ask them to become an electrician, plumber, builder, road maker, concrete guy. You name it, you can do it. There is nothing stopping you. And it ain't the color of your skin. It's just an excuse. All these black politicians screaming like Waters and Al Sharpton and all these idiots. Let me tell you something. Where's the trade schools? Did you build a trade school for these kids? Nope. You blame the white man on your disparities. It's got nothing to do with white people. I'm not a white person. I'm an American. There is no colors in America. You're either born an American or you're born a color. There's no such thing. That excuse is getting really old. And the biggest dumbasses in the world that say take the freaking police away, you're even more stupid than I thought. And any politician that says that needs to be fired. Needs to get their asses kicked. That is illogical and stupid. President Trump, if these idiots in Seattle don't deal with this shit, send the Marines in. You only need about 20 of them. They'll clean up that street in 5 minutes. And everything will go back to normal, and you need to arrest the mayor and the governor of that state and put them in jail for aiding and abetting terrorism. The cops got arrested. If you watch the video of them being arrested that day of George Floyd, you explain to me why they didn't handcuff and secure the two people that were in the vehicle. It was a man and a woman. Then they isolated, they took this other guy away and put him behind that vehicle. There's something stinks about this murder. It was a deliberate murder. It wasn't about black and white, something else in here, and it stinks. And then suddenly the whole world blows up. That cop had harassed a lot of people before this happened. And if the union's helping them, I'm sorry, but you guys are wrong. If a cop's had too many cases against him, no more than 3, he needs to be gone. You got to get rid of these guys. They're making you bad. I'm 100% against law. I'm 100% against law and order in the civil society. But we cannot have this anymore. Look at California. Look at the streets of California. You can't tell me this is okay. Look at Hollywood right now. It's a pigsty. It looks like a slum. The people in power, you so-called media and Hollywood people, is this what you want everybody to see? Is this what you want? Why don't you let them squat in your yard, behind your nice fenced walls, in your $1 million yards? Why must we deal with it while you point fingers? This is bullshit. 90% of America is just law-abiding homebodies, just want to go to work every day and make $1. Stop lying about the coronavirus. You're affecting millions of people's lives. And every man and every woman that loses a job, you affect their family. That's an average of 5 people. And that is wrong. To all these media people and all these glorified spokespersons for CNN and NBC and whatever you are, you guys are complicit in what's going on. Complicit down to it. How many people have committed suicide because of this, because they can't pay their bills? And you think the bankers are smart? They're just smiling right now. Because they know they got you by the knick-knack. And you ain't going to be able to pay this back. And our grandchildren and grandchildren can pay this bill. And you got Bill Gates running around with his vaccine nonsense and Fauci. They were all complicit. Listen to Obama. Listen to Obama 4 years ago talking about the exact same scenario. I mean, down to the T. Go to his speech and then go to Bill Gates' speech, and they talk about the Spanish flu. This whole thing was planned. It stinks. If you take all the videos and you put them together, they are repeating exactly what is happening right now because they set it up. Obama, you're a piece of shit. I hope you rot in hell when you die. As for you, Gates, you're a disgusting man. And as for you, Fauci, I'm telling you, when this is all over, you 3 and the rest that did this, I hope every single person that has lost their lives during this pandemic sue you for mass murder, because that's what you deserve. I'm a humanitarian. I believe in the human race, and there's only good and bad, and then there's evil. This is the Hawk. I'm off to the next stop. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share. And don't believe the rabbit hole. These numbers are crap. Call every hospital that's coming up with high numbers and ask them, Who died of a heart attack? Give me the list of names or died of heart attacks, strokes, car accidents, and old age, and other diseases and complications. And if they have none, they're lying about the coronavirus. These guys are raping the system for money, because every gurney that comes in that hospital, they throw a ventilator on them and they say coronavirus. Tell them you want all the medical records, you want the records, you want the proof that that was a coronavirus case. It has to be public record for them to claim the money. And then you'll see these numbers are far, far less, probably 1% of what they say. There's probably only 10,000 people in the whole of the United States that's died of coronavirus. This is the Hawk. I'm out of here. Please share, like, and subscribe to my channel. And by the way, I normally get into South African politics, not American politics, but the president of South Africa blamed all white people in the world for coronavirus, for the death of George Floyd, and the fact that all men beat their wives. If you don't believe me, go watch the videos. It's out there all over the YouTube. The South African government is a communist government that hates America. And we gave them $9.4 billion in the last 26 years, and we just gave them a bunch of money now for coronavirus. And guess what they did? They refused every white person in the country any aid. They have the highest murder rates in the world. They are now assisting Iran, Hamas, Al-Qaeda, and ISIS in the country. They are selling Chinese goods through South Africa so they don't have to pay tariffs. Do not believe the lie anymore. There's a link in my description for sanctions against South Africa. All us US taxpayers must not aid and abet evil. And we need to remove this government by any means. They are taking our tax money and using it against us. That is absolutely insane. This is the Hawk. I'm out of here. Take care till the next time.